Hi Cancer, this is your October 2018 reading. If I have to summarize the month of October for you in one word, it will be heart, because there'll be four planets that will be sitting in your house of joy, which is the heart chakra, by the end of the month. We will be having so much focus on this area because Venus will be going retrograde in your area of house of joy. Jupiter will be expanding your house of joy. Sun and Mercury will also be moving into Scorpio, which is your house of joy. This is about creating deep, passionate love for you. This is about creating authentic, long lasting joy for you. Whether it is through your children, whether it is through your creative ventures, whether it is through a lover coming in your life, or whether it is through a business venture, which is like a child for you, where you take risk, where you take bets, where you take speculation on your self worth and go full gusto with passion fully in. These are the things that will be expanded, that will be evaluated, and finally you will feel empowered to make the right choices by the end of the month in these areas. I will first like to talk about a few longer lasting aspects because October is very much a turning point. We'll be having ending of a few cycles in the month of October. I'll talk about these longer lasting transits which are happening as we transition from October to November, and then I'll go over the specific dates of the month of October and what aspects are available to you and how to take advantage of that. As usual, I'll leave timestamps in the comments so you can come over the specific areas of this reading over the course of the month as your time allows. So, as we start the month, Pluto is turning direct. Pluto is the planet of empowerment. Pluto is the planet of healing. Pluto is the planet of transformation. It's the farthest planet, but it affects us psychologically very, very deeply. When it is about to turn direct, it affects our psychology in the area where it is turning direct. And for you, it is turning direct in your house of committed relationships, in your seventh house. This is all about feeling like taking control of your relationship destiny. You feel this in your gut that now you want to take the requisite steps, no matter how tough they look like, but you want to take the requisite steps to have the right kind of relationships in your life. You do not want to have any superficiality, any doubts in the kind of person who should or should not be in your life. This is transformative changes in our relationships, in your committed relationships. When Pluto turns direct, there is a breakdown of barriers. There is a breakdown of emotional barriers, the breakdown of any of the barriers that are holding your emotions in, where you're not expressing yourself authentically, where you're not speaking your mind. So it's about opening up the barriers to closeness, to true intimacy. And while that's happening, you'll feel this in your heart chakra. You'll feel suddenly an opening in your emotions, sudden trigger in your heart that you want to speak your mind. And that energy will only grow as the month progresses, because around 9th of October, Mercury will be moving in Scorpio as well. That is also about purging, speaking your mind, being truthful to yourself. Pluto in this area will continue till a long time, till about 2023. So it's a long lasting transit, but when a planet is turning direct, we feel it the most. This is happening at around 18 to 19 degree of Capricorn. So if you're a Cancer born between 8th to 12th of July, or if you have any planets between 16 to 20 degree of Cancer, you'll feel this relationship transformation in the month of October very, very strongly. But over the course of next 1 year, Pluto will be transiting the degrees from 16 to 23 degree. So if you have any planets between 16 to 26, 27 degree, so if you are a Cancer Sun born between 8th to 18th of July, you'll feel this transit affecting you over the course of next one year as well. This is very much about getting rid of the patterns of relationships, of the way of being in a relationship that is not serving you anymore. Pluto is a longer lasting transit. It wants to create structures of relationships that serve you in longer run. This is about you feeling empowered to go after your destiny, to go after your material destiny. So this could be very much about business relationships, because Pluto is in Capricorn. Capricorn is all about creating material success for you. So it is not just about personal relationships, it's about business relationship as well. What is not gratifying you anymore has got to go. To top it all up, Pluto is combined with Saturn as well in that area. Saturn has also been actively working in your partnerships area, which means that you have been putting a lot of energy in creating the right structures for your partnership. A lot of your energy, a lot of your efforts are going into it. But Saturn is a planet of karma, so if you're putting in the effort right now, you'll bear the fruits of it as we progress over the course of 2019. Because in 2019 you'll be having Saturn and Pluto conjunct together. They'll be meeting each other in your house of partnerships. This is not a very common occurrence. This is like a start of a new cycle, because Saturn and Pluto last came together in 1982. So now when they're coming together, this is like a trigger of a new cycle, not just for you but globally, because Saturn and Pluto affect global events as well. It is a start of a cycle of governance. It's a start of a cycle of administration. It's dismantling old structures and setting up new ones. It's getting rid of structures or a way of being in relationships that is not serving you anymore. And it's going to slowly happen, because Saturn and Pluto will not be alone. There'll be South Node as well, reaching out to Saturn and Pluto between April and May of 2019. That is a trigger point. Saturn and Pluto were together in 1982, but Saturn, Pluto, and South Node have never been together. The last that I know of, and this is not my own source, I know this from some other sources, that around 15th century is when Saturn, Pluto, and South Node came together. That was a time when church was divided. So this is truly dismantling some very long-standing structures, and that process of dismantling will continue from 2019 to 2020, which is supposed to be a pivotal point of start of a completely new way of being in terms of how we are governed, how our administrations are, how we will be using our power, and the distribution of power in the world will be changing in 2020. But for you personally, this is all happening in your area of partnerships. So the boundaries, the way of being, the way you are in a relationship is supposed to completely transform over the coming years, over 2019 and 2020, and it's all starting now. You will start feeling it now, because in the month of November, South Node will be entering Capricorn, your partnership sector. Wherever South Node is, we have to let go something. We have to let go some kind of attachment, a way of being in our partnerships, in our relationships. You'll have to release a pattern with Pluto there and Saturn and South Node, all three planets in Capricorn in your partnership sector on 6th of November. That is a pivotal point. And before that cycle happens, before that starts, you're already going to start feeling the preface of it. This is the month in October. And these are the days in October, especially during the first few days of October when Pluto is very, very strong. You'll start feeling the culmination of a cycle about to come. You'll start feeling that I have to be very different now in how I am in my relationships. The intensity in the relationships will very much go off. It is all or nothing thoughts. It's also the thought that I want to heal my relationships. I want to be in certain way in my relationships which truly serve me. Pluto is a healer. It heals the hurts as they are coming up. Pluto is like a drill. It goes deep inside the core of the issues, brings them up out in the open, so they are verbalized, they are known to us, and then they are dealt with and healed for once. These are powerful changes in intimate relationships. This is breakdown of barriers. Any false notions, any pretense in your relationships would have to go. These first transits that you're seeing are actually very gentle nudge. This will continue to grow stronger as Saturn, Pluto, and South Node will start coming closer together all the way up till April and May of 2019, and then the breakdown starts. So look at it as a nudge and take the requisite steps in advance of it. This is about not accepting anyone's control anymore. This is not about getting controlled by your relationships. This is about taking power and deciding this is how I want to be in my relationships. Because the next transit that is going to happen in November, when South Node moves in Capricorn on 6th of November, the day of midterm elections in the US. US is Cancer Sun as well. So you can see some of these events come about in the life of United States of America as well. The breaking down of boundaries, the breaking down of governance, the breaking down of the way of being in relationships and diplomacy with other countries. You'll see that accelerate from next month all the way till April, May of 2019 as well, for your country, for United States of America, if you're staying in America, or world over is watching as well. So when South Node moves in Capricorn, North Node or Rahu moves in your sign on 6th of November. This is happening after 19 years. When North Node moves in our sign, it's all about taking care of ourselves. Our ambition, our desire, our drive is accelerated. Our path to our destiny, what are we supposed to do in this lifetime, that is accelerated when North Node enters our sign. This last happened in 2000 and 2001, specifically in the sign of Cancer. It's about creating self-protection. It's about feeling safe emotionally in our world. It's about learning the balance of being responsible for others, because you are very responsible when it comes to relationships, especially your committed relationships, even your love relationships. You are very passionate and deep about them. You take care of the people. It's like you are the nurturer normally in a partnership. Now this North Node moving in your sign on 6th of November will start asking you to take care of your interests. It's about taking care of you. It's about managing or balancing your responsibility towards yourself and your responsibility towards others. You will speak your mind more and more as that happens. What is not serving you in a partnership? Where are the suppressed emotions? Where are we not speaking up? Because suppressed emotions, they show up in form of diseases in our body. So it's about letting it all out in the open before that happens, because whatever is not authentic, when the nodes change sign from 6th of November up until 2020, that will have to go. So October is forming a base for that. October is creating a base for your partnerships. This last happened, as I said, in 2000 and 2001. On a global basis, you can see that those were the years when certain events, and not so positive events, because 2001 is when 9/11 happened. It didn't happen in the way. There was mass involved during that time, so there were forces at play beyond the nodes that were happening, but the end result of all of that was creation of more self-protection, awareness that we need to protect our own interest beyond the relationships with other countries. That is something that happened to the country of to America. So just bringing that to your personal life, it's about creating protection for yourself. It will be about taking care of yourself. This is opposite of what happened in 2009 to 2011, when North Node was in your opposite sign, Capricorn, and South Node was in Cancer. So you were creating certain structures probably between 2009 to 2011, some sort of foundation, some rules about relationships and partnerships that would now have to be released, that would have to be let go, because they are not serving you anymore. So you can look back at that time. Globally, at the time, that is after the financial crisis, and all the financial regulations were being created. It was the time of creating new rules and new regulations around the financial industry. So looking back at that, but more importantly, in the month of October, the cycle of North Node in Leo is coming to an end. the gifts of that cycle is what October will be all about. So North Node in Leo was supposed to provide you more financial independence. It was supposed to release you of your debts. Those could have been debt of relationships, those could have been debt of addictive relationships that are holding you back. This is a debt of any form, whether a karmic debt or a physical loan, an actual loan and financing taken from another person, whether it is your business partner or whether it is your sponsor. It is releasing and repaying that debt. So there will be a series of sudden events which will happen, especially during second half of October, which will release you of that debt if that hasn't happened so far. Because before the nodes change sign on 6th of November, the previous cycle has to end. Another cycle which is supposed to end, and October is the time when the culmination of that cycle is happening, is Jupiter in your fifth house of joy. Jupiter has been in your house of joy since last year, October of 2017, and it will be ending that cycle on 8th of November. While it is ending the cycle from 6th of October to 8th of November, it will be traversing the degrees that it has never been on over the last 13 years. So it will be bringing you opportunities which you have not seen over the last 13 years. This is a very lucky cycle, especially if you have any planets between 22 to 30 degree of Cancer, or if you're born between 14 to 22nd of July. This is a very beneficial period for you. Jupiter in fifth house is by default a lucky period, but you may not have felt that over the last 1 year, because Jupiter in Scorpio works differently. It first brings out all sorts of hurts, all sort of hidden issues to heal, and then it gives the gifts of it after the healing is done. And that is exactly what happens in the month of October. Jupiter in fifth house is expanding your house of joy. This is your house of children. This is your house of creativity. This is your house of taking some risk in the business ventures that you are in. This is about taking risk on the love life that you are in. So it's all about your children, creativity, passions, your business ventures, and your lovers, and your ability to take risk in all of these areas. So when you feel faith from inside to go after these things, because Jupiter provides faith and luck, you feel that you can actually expand in these areas. And Pluto, which is empowering you from within, gives you the sheer power to go after these opportunities as they're showing up for you. That's why the month of October is so significant from your heart perspective, because truly the things that you desire, the things that you have been hoping for, will start presenting in front of you. The opportunities that you've been waiting for will start presenting to you. But the challenge here is for you to go after them, for you to be on lookout for them, so you can realize those energies. Because Jupiter and Pluto are in a sextile. This aspect requires you to figure out these opportunities. This aspect requires you to look out for these and use this newfound power that Pluto is giving you to go after these opportunities, whether they are in love, they are in creativity, whether they are in speculative trades in your business, or whether it is an area of your heart. So these are the long-standing transits. Now let's dig into the individual dates and what's happening. So as we are standing now on 9th of October, we have a new moon in Libra at 15 degree Libra. This is your house of home and family. So when new moon happens, sun and moon come together to create a fresh energy, infuse a fresh energy of balance and harmony in your family life. Libra is all about balance and harmony and love. So this is like a fresh energy being infused in your home and family. This could be in form of a fresh start in your home or family. As I said, Jupiter is very much a fertile time. So it could be maybe some sort of parenthood coming true, or it could be simply making changes or improvements to your home that you live in, whether it is in form of buying new property, selling, refinancing, just making some changes in the house that you live in. But this new moon, which by its sign, by Libra, should have been just about harmony and balance, is being squared by the planet of power, Pluto. So we can expect some sort of power struggles. This may not come very easy. There could be some power struggles with loved ones in making the decisions that you want to take in terms of your home and family. They might require some active working through some active discussions with your family members. Just be prepared for that. The lower manifestation of Pluto energy is power struggles, but the higher way to tap into that power is just to feel empowered within, not trying to prove your point, not trying to get into any sort of ego hassles, but just making your point to your loved ones and showing your side to them. And to some extent, if you feel that your point of view is right, not compromising your interest to give in just to please somebody, just to make them happy. Because Libra energy can get a little bit dissipated in just trying to please others and just trying to look at other people's point of view and being fair to them, but in the process compromising our own interest. So just be mindful of the energy that is available to you right now. You truly feel empowered in your partnerships, but that could translate in a lower manifestation in form of power struggles, in terms of trying to prove your point and telling everybody that you're right. Astrology has the benefit of telling us what kind of energies will exist. We cannot really change the events, but we can change our reaction to those events. So when you see that somebody is trying to waste your time by engaging you in a power struggle, in a discussion, in a fight, which is of no value to the whole process, then just let it go. Take the high road during this time. Don't waste your energy, because your energy will be at a little bit of a low, because Sun, our physical being, is being aspected by Neptune during this new moon. Neptune drains a little bit of our energy. It does provide creativity, it does provide idealism, but at the same time we feel dissipated during this time. We might feel that we are expending our energy on things that are probably not worth it. So realize that. Research into things, look at what are the options available to you, but don't get into power struggles. There is a bit of a another thing to take care of, because the ruler of this new moon is Venus. Libra is ruled by Venus, but Venus is retrograde. Venus went retrograde on 5th of October. I did not want to use this reading to just talk about Venus retrograde. A lot of readers have chosen to do that, and I honor that, I respect that, because Venus retrograde is a key event for the month of October. But I tried to put that in a separate video. I've done a lot of work, a lot of research on that, and I put down the do's and the don'ts of it. I would request you to please go over that video in conjunction with this whole monthly video of yours. But because this planet is ruling this new moon as well as the full moon at the end of the month, so it's important to understand what Venus retrograde is all about. In short, for you, Venus retrograde, Venus is going retrograde on 5th of October and will remain retrograde till 16th of November. Venus rules our creativity, Venus rules our relationship, Venus rules our finances, our style, our love life. So when all of these things are affected by Venus and Venus is moving backwards, we go into a reconsideration exercise. We are looking at what and who we truly love and value in our relationships, in our family life, in our finances. What are the things that we truly value? What are the people that we truly value? What are the styles that we truly value? What are the creative ventures that we truly value? For you, Venus is going retrograde in your house of joy. So you are truly reconsidering some of the questions, some of the tough questions in that area, whether they are worth your energy or not. So the first thing that comes up is your relationships, whether a certain relationship is worth your time or not. The second thing that comes for reconsideration is children. The subject of children and pregnancy comes up. Do you want to have more? Do you not want to have more? It's resurfacing of these questions that maybe have been considered in the past, and they're just coming back again into your consciousness, and your partner and you are discussing it. It's also a very, very creative time. Venus vibrates in fifth harmonic with Earth. It invokes our heart chakra. It invokes creativity from us. So when Venus is closest to Earth during a retrograde cycle, that's when creativity is at its maximum. It is also because Venus is an aspect with Neptune, but at the same time, just sheer Venus retrograde enhances our creativity. So use this cycle very wisely for your creativity. Use this cycle very wisely for reconsideration of what brings you joy in your relationships. And this is the time to getting off the fence. Venus is in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio does not like to be sitting on the fence. It wants to take a call. Do I love this or I don't? If I love this, I'll go full into that. Otherwise, I'll release it. By the end of the month, you would know whether that relationship is worth going after or not, whether that creative project is worth your time or not, whether you should be going deeper into a business project that you have been working on and feeling passionate about, or releasing it. Or this is the right lover for you. Is this the love of your life or not? And or whether you should just release it. This last happened between September 2010 to December 2010. So you can look back during that time whether that was a time that truly affected you or not. This is especially true for June born Cancers, because it's happening in the early degrees of Scorpio. So if you are a Cancer born between the first early parts, which is 22nd to 30th of June, you'll feel this transit very strongly. But look back at September 2010 to December 2010, because the events of those exact events of that time will not repeat, but similar patterns will be reflected, because Venus was exactly at the same place in 2010 between September to December, just shifted by a few degrees. And every Venus retrograde cycle is supposed to teach us something. It is supposed to bring some lessons that we are supposed to carry forward after the every 8-year cycle of Venus retrograde. This could be some resurfacing of exes as well from the past coming into your consciousness. This could be resurfacing of certain creative projects of that time coming into your consciousness. It could be purely thoughts of some of the exes coming in your mind, but they are not coming to reinvigorate those relationships, but it is more about taking the lessons of why is that person my ex. It is sort of learning from your old relationships and then using them in your current cycle. Any superficiality in your relationships would have to be released. That is the theme overall of Pluto in Capricorn as well, and also Venus in Scorpio. You would be resenting anything and anyone that is superficial and manipulative in your relationships. People you meet now, if there are new relationships that are coming into your consciousness, you will feel like committing to them very, very quickly, because Venus in Scorpio makes you want to go jump in. If you really like somebody, you want to get married by the end of the month, and that is something that I advise you against. Venus retrograde is very good in terms of renegotiation of existing contracts, whether these are financial, whether these are relationships, or these are business contracts. It's an excellent time to get your true worth by renegotiating existing contracts, but it is not a good time to initiate new commitments, initiate a marriage, initiate a proposal, initiate a client venture, initiate a business venture which is of high value to you, because you may not be realizing your true value during this time, because the planet of discernment of value, Venus, is retrograde right now. So do not make a over the top commitment of any new nature during this period. Use the cycle to re-evaluate existing contracts. And that is why I brought this up during the new moon of 9th of October, because even though you might feel like buying a new property, especially if you're born between 2nd to 12th of July, new moon is squaring you. It is directly affecting you. So if you have any planets between 10 to 20 degree of Cancer, you'll feel the urge to make a new start very, very much emotionally, as well as from a physical property perspective or investment into an asset perspective. You'll feel a very strong urge to do that. I will urge you to use this time to research and find the properties, but not to sign any papers. Do not sell, buy, or make a huge financial decision when Venus is retrograde till 16th of November. It is best to wait it out if possible. Again, I mean, it's not life doesn't stop because of retrogrades. I'm telling you to do, urging you to do this if it's physically possible for you. If you have to buy some asset, it's a great time to hunt for bargains. If you are truly sure that you're getting a bargain during this time, or if you are truly sure that the paperwork of the house or the asset that you're buying is thoroughly done, then go ahead with it. But it's usually not advised to do that. It's great for deep self-esteem work. It's great for self-care. It's great for sort of a detox of emotions because it's happening in your house of emotions. It's a great time to release any kind of emotions, any deep-seated emotions that are holding you back from true intimacy in your relationships. But it's not a great time to go over the top and committing yourself to somebody new. I mean, I'm not talking about existing relationship. These are new. If there is a new relationship, a new property, a new asset that you're looking to invest into, it's better to hold it off or be very, very sure that the documentation around those assets is thoroughly vetted through. There are aspects available in coming days which will give you opportunity to thoroughly vet any kind of contracts and have a meaningful discussion with your loved ones if this is about love. 14th of October is a great day for any kind of discussion, whether it is of financial nature or love. 22nd of October is another date which is great for those kind of discussion, and 28th of October. These are three key dates during the course of this month: 14th of October, 22nd of October, and 28th of October, when you should schedule some time, if whether with your business partner or with your love partner, to go deeper into details of things and figuring out a amicable solution. Now, while this is happening on 9th of October, Mercury is also moving into Scorpio. This is the second planet, third planet, which is in Scorpio. We already had two benefic planets, Venus and Jupiter, in Scorpio. Scorpio is an energy that jives well with you. It is all or nothing. It is a very deep and passionate sign, and this agrees with you. You are deep and passionate when it comes to your relationships. So when Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio on 9th of October, the the energy around you in matter of communications becomes very deep. So you are not looking to have any superficial chit chats anymore. You only want to have meaningful discussions, especially when it comes to your area of love, when it comes to your children, when it comes to your creativity. It's an excellent time to go deep and create your best work, which is very, very authentic. It's excellent time to have some deep romantic time with your loved ones, whether it's your children or it's your lover. It's about going deep, going authentic, and not engaging in on wasting your energy in superficial things anymore. You'll see that in media as well. Right now, just Venus is in Scorpio, but the kind of things that are being discussed in the media, we are no more hiding things. Everything is coming out in the open. It's about feeling empowered to say your truth. You're seeing sexual issues, authority issues, things that have been brushed under the carpet and never been spoken about coming out in the open increasingly. That is all Scorpio energy, and it will continue to grow towards the end of the month of October. As the Mercury moves into Scorpio, we immediately start seeing some of the aspects being made by Mercury. So the time between 9th to about 12th or 13th of October is very much a ideation time, because Mercury, the planet of thinking, our mind and communication, is being aspected by Uranus. This is quick thinking. This is generation of brilliant ideas. This is sudden ideas, sudden flashes of ideas coming your way. And where are they coming? They're coming in your fifth house, in your house of creativity, in your house of business risk, in your house of romance. It's happening, all of it. The area of joy that I talked about, the house of joy that I talked about, which is being expanded this month. This is sudden flash of ideas, even sudden people coming into your consciousness that help you in these areas. This could be a new person coming and helping you in your business venture, giving you ideas on what kind of new things you can do to generate more financial income in your business venture. This could be something or some idea coming with a flash of light to your mind, or with respect to your creative projects. This could be an actual person suddenly coming in your life and you thinking about engaging with them in a romantic way. Or this could be just you thinking about your existing love life in a different way. And Uranus wants to give you freedom. It wants to detach you from old way of being. It wants to give you brilliance. It wants to give you interesting ideas. It wants to change your thinking from where you stand right now. Where are you stagnant? Where are you blocked? This is an energy of unblocking you. This is an energy of unblocking where you are held in stagnant relationships, stagnant creative projects, or stagnant thinking about how you would like to be with children, or whether you would like to have children or not. These are flashes of great ideas, but this is an ideation phase. This is not a great time to have discussion or a constructive discussion, because your thinking is too quick right now. This is very impulsive. You'll say things that can hurt somebody, and others are going through exactly the same energy, so they could say things that may not jive well with you. So between especially on 10th of October, it's a very, very unstable day from having a productive constructive negotiation perspective. But 10th of October is great for idea generation, because not only Mercury is being opposed by the brilliant by the brilliant planet of Uranus, Venus and Mars are having a square as well. This is need for excitement. This is need to go and delve deeper and bring out what was holding us back from getting the right love, getting the right creativity, getting the right decision on our children, on your idea of children. This is about creating more joy for you, and what is holding you back. We need to find ideas to remove that, because Mars is sitting in your house of transformation. It wants to remove any blockages that are holding you back. So these two aspects very much, even though they create conflict, especially around 10th of October, but they are there to create more ideas for you. They are there to create more freedom for you. You'll experience that from about 8th to 13th of October, Venus square Mars, which happened last month as well. It's been happening almost all of summer, but it happens for a fleeting day. When Venus is direct. When Venus is retrograde, Venus square Mars gets dragged on, because Venus is moving very slow during that time. So you'll feel that over an extended period of time. In September, that happened around 8th of September, but now it will be dragged on from 8th to 13th of October. Similarly, Mercury opposing Uranus is happening over the course of couple of days, around 9th to 12th of October. But what is excellent is nodes are squaring Mercury and Uranus this time. This is what I talked about. There's gift of abundance which North Node has promised us, and that's about to come with these brilliant ideas. This is not just about your relationships, this is about your financial abundance. So there are certain ideas that are suddenly coming your way which will bring more financial freedom to you, and be on lookout for that. These ideas will mature over the course of the month, because this is just the first iteration of it. You'll see that idea mature around 12th of October itself. 12th of October is a great day to consult somebody who's an elder or who's more experienced in your area of business, so you can get more ideas on how to do this better, bring more maturity to some of these initial ideas. I love that Saturn is aspecting Mercury on 12th of October, because it brings some stability, some grounding, some long-term financial abundance in your life, some long-term structures around what you're thinking about, maybe a financial risk that you're thinking about. It gives you some amount of maturity. It could be coming through your partner, or it could be coming through an older person who understands your business. So talk to somebody who you trust on 12th of October, and this energy matures as we progress further. So while 9th to 12th and 13th of October is great for ideation, the actual discussion of it is best done after 12th of October, because not only Moon will be in Sagittarius, which is all about higher thinking, but Mercury and Venus will start forming a beautiful conjunction. This is very good for self-expression. This is excellent for telling somebody that you love them. So 14th of October, as I said, is an excellent day to set up a date, to set up a lovely time with your loved one, with this love interest that you are thinking about or reconsidering, or who has suddenly come in your life. It's about negotiations. It's about having a productive round of talks. It's about taking some right kind of risk, thinking about the right kind of risk. It's about peaceful settlement of disputes. It's about forming deeper bonds with loved ones. You feel popular. You are attracting many, because when Mercury and Venus are both in your area of joy, you are like a magnet for people. Love interest, even excess coming your way. As I said, enjoy this time. Don't get into making any over the top commitment. Just think about what's happening now and enjoy it for the moment. There will be some creative projects that you can easily bring back to life around 14th of October, because the creative energy is very much rife at this time. Well, Mercury is making a positive, Mercury and Venus both are in positive aspect with you. They are creating more ideas, they are creating more communications. It's great for business deals. Uranus is also in positive aspects with you. So there are changes which are happening during this time. The ideas of freedom, financial freedom coming your way, which jive with you, which work positive for you. Now, as I said, this will only be your first round of discussion. There'll be another round of discussion, and the second round of discussion starts around 17th of October, when Moon is in Aquarius. It's a gibbous moon, which means that it is not very stable at this time. There will be situations which will not be finding a resolution during this time. It's more about ideation from 17th to about 20th 21st of October. It will be more about generating ideas again, and some of these ideas will come through conflict, especially on 19th of October, when Mercury and Mars are squaring each other. People will be harsh in their speech. People will want to say their piece. You would want to say your piece, because this is an energy of verbal purge. But thankfully, Mercury is in positive aspect with you, with your sun. So your talk is very productive. You are thinking in a broad way as well, because Neptune is also aspecting you. You have a higher knowledge of what's supposed to be done. This is an easier energy for you as compared to the rest of the signs. So be aware of taking advantage of that, in the sense that just be aware that a lot of people would be just picking up fights for the heck of it. And if their words are hurting you during this time, just know this is the aspect which is there right now. People are going to be having heated mental states. There will be impulsiveness. There'll be sharp speech during this time around 19th of October. You may not reach a negotiation point on 19th of October, but it is great for ideas. It is great for bringing issues to surface. It's about releasing a bit of pressure through discussions. This could be through discussions, or you can dissipate a little bit of this energy through workout. And because Mars, when it squares a planet, you need to release a little bit of energy. It could be done through a physical activity as well. It could be in form of workout, or it could be in form of sex. But Mars energy needs to be dissipated a little bit to make it more productive around this time. So all of these discussions, this verbal purge and reconsideration is all happening in your house of joy, which is your house of children. So this could be something about in your life of your children, a decision in your life of your children. It could be the topic of having children, or it could be reconsideration or discussions about what decision to take about a loved one, about a lover who's come in your life, whether you want to go ahead with that romance or not. This could also be about a business risk that you're planning to take, which is supposed to lead you to better financial positions. there's high likelihood that this discussion is around financials because Mars is also in that area. So you're looking to get rid of some sort of debt, and there could be a discussion around how to take more business risk in light of giving up some sort of financial dependency that you might have. Now, as we progress, around 19th of October is not when all of this is happening. Between 17th to 20th of October, it's not a great time to get into details. It's a great time for ideation. It's a great time for a bigger picture. But the details come when Mercury meets Pluto around 22nd of October. So between 21st to 24th of October is a great time to go deep. It's a great time to get into the details. It's an intense, deep thought process energy. When Mercury meets Pluto, you get an unwavering focus on these areas. You get a sharp mind specifically for you because Mercury is in positive energy with you. You feel this deep, authentic mental power, even to some extent controlling power over people around you. This is you being very, very magnetic with people. This is like you can convince people about your point of view during this time. Having a discussion on 22nd of October, there is very little chance that you won't be able to convince whosoever you're trying to convince about your love life, or about what decision you're taking with respect to children, or about a business risk that you're going in for, or a creative project. If there's a creative project that you're trying to sell to somebody or discuss with somebody, this is an excellent time. You can see through people, you can see through ideas in great detail. You can get hidden information out that the other people will not be able to see, because your intensity of thought is so much positive, is working so much positively for you, because it's positively aspecting you, especially if you're born between 8th to 12th of July, or if you have any planets between 16 to 20 degree of Cancer. I will urge you to use this time for a meeting. Use this time to actually make a fresh start, sort of get to a convincing stage with your partner, or with your loved one, or with a business partner during this time. After this, Sun enters Scorpio. So from 23rd of October, now we have Sun, Venus, Jupiter and Mercury in your house of joy. This is a bonanza in your house of joy. There's so much focus on children, on your love life, on your creativity, on your healing this month in this area. It's excellent for you. This energy jives so much better with you compared to the first half of the month, because Scorpio is in positive energy with you. Now, just the following day on 24th of October, we have the full moon at 1 degree Taurus. When a full moon happens, Sun is in your area of joy, and Moon is in the opposite sign in Taurus, in your house of social networks, business networks, your friends. The light of the sun is thrown on Moon, and something in the life of your friends, in your social networks, in your business networks comes to light, comes to open, and you need to handle it. This could be something coming up in your social networks which is with respect to the financial projects that you're undertaking, because the houses that are involved in this full moon are very much about finances. So my thought process on 24th of October is that this is a financial full moon for you. This is the culmination of North Node being in your houses of financial independence, because North Node is squaring this full moon. It is not going to be easy what you're going to get to, but instinctively you're going to take some calls, whether it is through engaging with the right sort of people, or taking a call on a creative projects, completion of a creative project, completion of a dream that you've had, ending of a cycle on how you want to be in a network, how do you want to be in a creative project. It's completion of a project which is finally giving you the financial freedom that you have been looking for over the last 1 year. Over the last 1.5 years. This is happening with a snap. there is an element of surprise there, because Uranus and Moon are sitting together. Uranus is in Taurus and Moon is also in Taurus, and both of them are around 1 degree at this time. So there is an element of surprise, there is an element of excitement, there is an element of freedom coming out of nowhere. This is a gains which are coming out of nowhere. This is financial freedom coming out of nowhere. This is a support coming out of nowhere. This could be a benefactor coming out of nowhere, which is helping you attain your financial goals, which is helping you make a decision which brings you closer to your financial goals over the next 2 weeks. This is very much positive for June born cancers, because it's happening at such an early degrees. You have to be an early, very early degree cancer to truly benefit from it. So something like a 22nd to 23rd, 24th, 25th born June born cancer would extremely experience a positive financial gain coming out of this. This is squaring the North Node, as I said, so there is a karmic destiny attached to it. It is like it was your karmic destiny to create more worth, more material worth for you. Taurus full moon, without any doubt, brings material abundance. It does it. The aim of Taurus full moon is always to make you feel more comfortable materially, and I feel that's what the aspects are showing. And they are a bit of a sudden, there is a bit of a suddenness attached to them, but at the same time, what I like about this full moon is that Saturn is aspecting Sun in a positive way, especially around 28th of October. So there's a maturation of this decision which happens following the full moon. So wait for a day or two to make up your mind on what you want to do, because Saturn makes it all very long term. It adds an element of stability to it. Sun and Saturn are exact on 28th of October, but from 25th of October to 29th of October, you feel the stabilizing influence. You feel this could be somebody physically actually coming and giving you advice, or you seeking out somebody who's experienced in your business field, similar to what I requested earlier during the cycle. So this could be the similar person. It could be your partner, it could be a business partner, it could be somebody who's experienced in that field giving you the right kind of advice, which grounds this sudden change, this instinctive change that you want to make, this excitement, this freedom coming out of nowhere gains kind of energy. It stabilizes it. This is sort of a culmination of the cycle of North Node for me. This is financial gains for you. But this does not come alone, because this is also a time when Venus is going to be finally converting to a morning star through a series of aspects. I spoke about it in my Venus retrograde cycle, but I'm going to repeat a few of the relevant transits for you during the end of the month, which bring about the changes in your relationships. First of all, just on the day of full moon itself, Venus is aspecting Saturn. This is maturation of the decisions that you have been looking to take in your relationships. This is stability to your feeling. This you knowing in your mind that the decisions that I'm taking are grounded in reality, whether it is your love life that you're thinking about, whether it is the decision making in your life of children that you're looking to take about having more children, not having more children, or taking a call on something new coming in your life of your children. Or this could be about your business risk, whether I should go ahead with it or I should not, taking a very matured call about it. I feel this is Venus is obviously the ruler of the full moon of 24th of October, because Venus rules Taurus as well, as I spoke about it earlier. So Venus being so stable during this time is excellent in terms of longevity of the events that are happening right now, longevity of the gains that are coming your way, whether the gains are in form of a relationship or gains are in form of a financial abundance coming your way. There is longevity attached to it, there is a maturity of feelings attached to it, and that becomes even stronger on 26th of October when Venus and Sun meet together. This is your intelligence, your creative intelligence, all the thought process, all the processes that Venus has gone through during the retrograde cycle, where it has understood who and what I truly value. That's being transferred to Sun. That knowledge is being transferred to your physical being. So things around around you can be created in the way you love and value. So you can go after the things that you like. Venus is now being converted to a morning star from evening star. So it will no more be just accepting things that are happening to you. We will be going after the things that we love. We'll be going after achieving our true worth in our relationships. We'll be going after and achieving our true financial worth that we deserve. This makes us go instinctively after the things that we truly deserve instead of just accepting our lot. That is an excellent energy, excellent conversion, excellent end of the month for you. Venus is immediately being aspected by Uranus, so there are some sudden ending of cycles and sudden starting of cycles which happen, sudden events, karmic events that happen during the end of the month. Around the time of Halloween, Venus is opposing Uranus on 31st of October on the day of Halloween. This is a decision, snap decision time. You have decided what you want to do. Your physical being and your emotional being knows fully well what it wants to do, and now it takes the requisite tough steps to do it. Whether you want to go ahead with this relationship or not, you decide and you do it. Whether you want to go ahead and have more children or not, you decide that and do it. Whether you want to have more excitement in your love life, because this is Venus, you have the planet of love being met with an exciting, freedom loving planet. This is about excitement and intimacy, excitement and romance. This is karmic end of a boring cycle to some extent, just breaking away from lack of excitement to some extent. There's a sudden surge of energy that I want to go after my joy. I want to get my joy truly in my life. This is excellent time. It will be a little bit impulsive. I spoke about it in Venus retrograde period that the time after the inferior conjunction of 26th of October is very unstable, not just for love life, globally from a leadership perspective. This is an unstable time, so just be aware of that. Enjoy the excitement it's offering you, but make the commitment only after 16th of November when Venus has gone direct. 16th of November is an excellent day for that. But before this, just enjoy the excitement it's offering you. 29th of October, Mercury meets Jupiter. Jupiter had the promise of financial abundance for you, more joy for you, more luck for you. And that is exactly what 29th of October does. It gives you optimism, it gives you luck, it gives you positive thinking. This is the final gifts of Jupiter that are being given to you up until 2nd of November before Jupiter moves out of your house of joy. Excellent end of the month. Enjoy yourself. The energy gets better as we progress in the month. Good luck, and I'll see you in November.